Welcome to another edition of From the Trainers Tower. Getting into it this year, Ed Sadler. My man, Ed Sadler, is the one who's gone out and done all the hard work. Been at Cranbourne yesterday, talking to all the people that matter. But episode 3, we've had 2 Group 1s or 2 Group 1 weekends already. Yep. It's all happening. We're gearing up for another one. Are you excited about it?
I am. It'll be a good Guineas. And Observer, as I said, a month ago, he was the horse I was most excited about this autumn carnival, and we're going to see him back to the races on Saturday. Second up, he surprised with what he was able to do for mine, how authoritative he was and how sharp he was over 1,400 metres up to a mile. This is his first key goal for the autumn. He's a 2.10 favourite. I'm surprised there's that little gap between him and 60s, but he's the key danger, isn't he, after winning the traditional lead up to CS Hayes?
Well, he is, and this is the Australian Guineas, which is our big Group 1 this weekend for the 3-year-olds over the mile. And as you say, Observer and 60s, they're the two at the top of the market. Interesting to see that little bit of a gap. Plenty of people are in the 60s camp. I know that. Planet Red, well, can he turn it around on Observer? He was second to him in that CS Hayes as well. But it's going to be an interesting race. And we've got a Guineas off the back of it up in Sydney as well that looks pretty stacked. There's some good 1,600 metre talent around at the moment, but Observer is it's one of the horses that could be putting a hand up for one of the best horses in the country, depending on how this prep goes. Now, you, Ed Sadler, caught up with trainer Kieran Maher yesterday at Cranbourne.
Big week for the stable coming up. Observer, are you happy with him heading to the Guineas?
I am, actually. He galloped this morning. He worked with Hollymans as he did leading into his first up run, and very happy with him. He's made nice progression, mentally, physically, and Flemington should be ideal. He was very good in the Guineas, Caulfield Guineas, so Flemington, should be ideal for him, really. Nice big straight, and he's in good order.
For a Derby winner, were you surprised just how sharp he was first up over 1,400 last time?
No, not really. We sort of, he does have that capacity, staying ability and capacity, but we ran him the week before just to take the edge off him. So he was always very free going. He was, was in a Norton bit last preparation. He's grown up and matured. This preparation, he raced first up and just a normal bridle, and he didn't surprise me how sharp he was, but he is a bit of a race day horse as well.
You go to the races on Saturday feeling like he's the one they all have to beat?
Well, we're certainly very happy with him. He does possess that quality, and we see his first up run was very good. And as I said, I think Flemington will suit him better as well.
You've done the Derby Guineas double before with Hitotsu. Does this horse remind you at all of Hitotsu?
Similar. He's a bit stronger and a bit bigger at the same time. But, Hitotsu, he was quite sharp. He ran in a Blue Diamond and a size. As a 2-year-old Observer, you can sort of draw similar lines.
What's next for Observer beyond Saturday, all being well?
Well, he's got options. He can stay in 3-year-old grade, or he can take on the olders. We'll have a chat with the team, but his aim's been to have him pretty right to see if he can add a Guineas to the CV.
Well, he looks very, very well placed for a Guineas, doesn't he, Ed? And Hitotsu, that's a good horse to be getting measured up against nice and early, isn't it? It is going to be interesting to see if he is better at Flemington, as the stable seem to think.
Yeah, he'll have more space, certainly, the wider expanses of Flemington. He's the type of horse that can make his own luck. He can be up on the speed. He's clearly the one to beat. You would have thought that he would have improved from that first up run to his second up run. He was better than I thought he'd be first up. He oozes quality. And I just felt like he got to that first up run at the right time. I think they weren't 100% happy with, say, how he was in his work and a jump out leading into that.
They scared me off with the chat that he was just a lot more relaxed coming back from the Derby prep. So I was surprised at how sharp the horse was, and certainly, judging by the market, a few others were as well.
Yep, so he one that exceeded our expectations first up. This is a key target for him. He'll be ready to rock and roll.
Well, second to him first up was Planet Red, and that horse is trained by Mick Price, who'll be looking to turn the tables in the Guineas.
Mick, looking ahead to this weekend, Planet Red, second in the Caulfield Guineas. Can he go one better in the Australian Guineas?
Observer. Look, he's the benchmark horse, isn't he? Look, I've had the preparation with him that I wanted to have. The horse couldn't be any better. He'll go to the mile. He'll run very well. Hopefully doesn't get back. We rode him cold first up because of the gate, and he had a long sustained effort. I thought he went good. He hasn't missed a beat. So he'll go into the race pretty cherry ripe. And but yeah, look, I think Observer's a pretty impressive colt.
Certainly does look that way, but from your point of view, your horse, is he a better horse than the spring?
I reckon he is. In the spring, we had just enough fuel to get into the Caulfield Guineas. This prep, he's got much more condition. He's a more bigger, robust horse and enjoys being trained, no trouble. And he should train on after the Guineas. So what we do in Sydney, I'm not sure yet, but it'll be interesting to see if he gets 2,000 metres too. So anyway, just regard Saturday. Couldn't be any better.
So would he go towards a Rosehill Guineas, or could he take on the older horses? What are you thinking there, Mick?
I would stick to 3-year-old company with him, and I'd try him in the Rosehill Guineas.
Is he the type of horse that you feel deserves to win a big race? Because his latest win was a benchmark 64 level, but he's been close in these good races.
Look, he's not a standout Group 1 type horse, but against 3-year-old, his own company, his own age, and if Observer doesn't turn up, it is a horse race. And his credentials are that he can chase the Group 1s, but he certainly hasn't got anything up his sleeve ability-wise. He's thereabouts with him. He's a nice horse. And he's lightly raced, he's very sound, and I think he'll keep improving during his career. But just for the moment, I'd say Australian Guineas into the Rosehill Guineas, that sort of thing.
Sabage heads to the Blamey?
Well, Sabage, originally we were going to go to the All-Star Mile, and it's a bit difficult to predict what happens in that race, isn't it? I mean, if Pride of Jenny turns up, well, there's your race. And Treasure of the Moment was going there. And then there's Sabage. So we possibly to Blamey, and then the Peter Young, and then the Australian Cup that way. So we'll definitely accept and have a look at the Blamey, and if all is well, we'll run. The horse is going well.
How's he come through that first up run, and what did you make of it, Mick?
Had every chance. Was beaten by a horse just a little bit nippier on the day. That horse of Hazy's just sat off and was, just a bit tuned up, and he was the right horse on the right day, that horse that beat him. Sabage ran as well as he could. I thought he was well ridden, and Beau seems to get along well with him, so he keeps the ride. The mile at Flemington is beautiful for him, and we think he'll get 2,000 metres, so pretty sure he'll show up on Saturday, yeah.
Just so refreshing listening to Mick Price talk about his horses, isn't it, Ed? Interesting to see he poured a little bit of cold water maybe on Planet Red. Jamie Mellum, when she got off after that second placing, said wherever it goes next, he'll be winning. She was very confident in it, but we hear from the trainer that probably respecting the talent of Observer.
Yep, Observer does look perhaps that class above, but if you looked at the raw form, as you do for a living, Sammy, you would have seen Observer finished actually behind Planet Red in the Caulfield Guineas, and then the amount of ground that Planet Red took off Observer last time out. You can make a case, but who's the better horse? Who's got more ability? I think you'd have to say Observer.
Yeah, I think they've both got a little bit up their sleeve, second up, particularly for Observer as well. But anyway, time for a break now on From the Trainer's Tower. Don't go anywhere, plenty more to come. Welcome back to From the Trainer's Tower. Now the Freedman team, well, they're airborne, and they've got a big weekend ahead. A couple of interesting runners, including an import new to the stable set to make its debut, and a 2-year-old looking to bounce back from maybe a disappointing run during the spring. Ed Sadler caught up with Sam Freedman yesterday at Cranbourne.
Sam, looking ahead to the weekend, Chief Little Rock, interesting import. He has his first start for your stable this weekend?
Yeah, he does. He's he's prepped up nicely enough. There'll be obvious improvement in him, I'd say, but we thought we were getting into the races last preparation. He just had a bad blood leading in, so we gave him a nice break, and he's come back nicely. He's been trialling quite well. He's quite a free rolling horse. He tends to begin really well from the gates, and shows quite a bit of speed in his work, so it'll be good to see how he goes.
Group 3 winner in Ireland. What's he showing you as far as distance? What sort of races would you be aiming him for?
Well, look, we don't have a set target race for him. It's really his rating dictates where we're heading with him. So, look, he'll be nom for the benchmark 84 as well as the Blamey, and we'll just make a call, a bit closer to acceptance time on which way we go. But he's shown himself, like I said, to have a good gate speed, which is quite rare for an import. Generally, they're not brilliant out, but he puts himself up there, and I don't think we'll take that away from him, depending on where he draws and everything like that. But like I said, he'll probably improve for the outing on his first Australian start, but looks to have some ability.
Ladar, she's a beautifully bred filly. Does she run this Saturday?
Yeah, she will. She'll run down the straight in the 1,000-metre race. She had an experience at the races last prep, which she just got all wrong. It was a hot day. She sort of melted in the parade ring, and in amongst horses, she was just very, very lost. So she's come back much better this prep. Always shown quite good ability at home in her work, and I think she'll run a really good race. We'll ride her with a bit of cover, and I could see her, running a bold race and finishing off right there in the finish.
Still plenty of good races to look forward to this autumn. Have you got some targets with her?
Look, she's on trial to see if she gets to Sydney. You've got races like a Percy Sykes. Might be too late to be getting to a slipper or anything like that, but plenty of options for her, and there's options in Melbourne as well with a race like the Showdown. So, she's a nice filly, and just looking to see her relax and finish off really well Saturday.
Be good to see the Daughter of Lyre return and show a little bit more than we saw in the spring. As we heard, there were excuses. Now, Akau, they've got a couple of youngsters with a little bit of talent set to go around again this Saturday.
Ben, looking ahead to the weekend, Harry met Sally, second up on Saturday. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, he probably should have won first up. I think anyone watching the race, if he just had a bit more luck, would have thought that. But he certainly showed he's come back off that debut at Flemington down the straight in good order, and that he's the quality we hoped and thought he was. So, talking to Mick post-race, if he had got clear running and a bit more luck, he over-raced as well and still managed to flash home. So we've put a crossover noseband on him just to help his little idiosyncrasies and hope that he races a bit more genuine. But down the straight, now that he's a gelding, he behaved a lot better at that first start, so hopefully that can transpire to his second start, and if there's a bit more tempo, he'll be one horse we think can flash home and certainly be up to stakes quality second up.
Okay, so what are the plans for this horse, this preparation? If you think he'll be flashing home, does he need to get over a little bit more ground in time?
At the moment, with him doing a few things wrong, 1,000 metres is probably his go-to right now. If he does everything right on Saturday and can win or maybe run top two, that certainly opens a pathway to more group races for him, but probably not ideal going from a maiden, having not won it, to a stakes race. But as I said, if he had more luck and should have won, we're coming into this race full of confidence with the one next to our name. So, if he can measure up to stakes company, it'll open up windows, whether it be, there's not many more chances left in Melbourne for the autumn, but it could be Adelaide, depending. The ceiling isn't quite, we're not sure where it's at yet, so hopefully he can prove himself.
Have you been happy with him at home since that first up run?
Yep, very. He actually galloped this morning, had a good hit out, and that's where we put the cross noseband on him, and he worked nicely. He responded well to it, was much more tractable, so hopefully we can see that transpire to Saturday, those manners, and with a bit more tempo than first up, we should see a much more genuine horse. But it's good to see how well he paraded. When he paraded at Flemington as a colt, he was much more, just too above himself, sweated up, ran his race before the race, whereas on that Thursday at Pakenham he was very relaxed, did everything well, and this past week he's really picked up in the feed bin and looks great in the coat. So all those vital signs are good ahead of going to a stakes race, which you want to see heading into much stronger competition. But off his work this morning and the upside I think he's got, hopefully we can see him race genuine and see the better horse.
Prior to that, Friday night, Lyrics and Song, well bred, heads to the races.
Yeah, she's a really promising filly. Was just probably immature in the spring. She loomed up in that stakes race and probably looked like the winner, but just probably didn't have the strength to round it out. But she got a good 4 to 5 week spell, come back in terrific order from Geelong Spelling Farm and trialled up enormous here. And we were going to give her 2 jump outs, but she just did also natural and has held on to plenty of residual fitness. So we thought, well, let's get her started over 1,200. So it will sort of be like a second trial, but she's certainly got plenty of fitness there to be winning first up, we hope. Work's been super. She's a much bigger, stronger filly now. She's probably about 20 to 30 kilos heavier at the race weight for this week, so really good sign. And we think she's a classy filly. All the rain that's around this week, she's definitely going to be she is a wet tracker right now until she sort of matures more physically, but should be a lovely track Friday night, and we think she'll be going there in order that's hard to beat.
Welcome back to From the Trainers Tower. Well, it wouldn't be a Saturday in Melbourne without it wouldn't be certainly a Saturday during the Festival of Racing without a massive team of Kieran Ma runners. And Ed Sadler, my man, caught up with Kieran yesterday.
West of Swindon, what way does he go?
He's in the Guineas as well at Flemington. He'll be also in the Randwick Guineas. So he'll take quite a bit of improvement off his first up run. Yeah, he got back. And, his best run was at the Valley when he was on speed. So condition-wise, he'll definitely come on, and which he needs to, and we'll just work out what's the best option for him.
Holy Man's and Will He Do It? They head to the Blamey, Kieran?
Yes, Holy Man's in great form. He's very honest, very genuine horse. He's ticking along very well, worked nicely, and Will He Do It? He did work well this morning. Blinkers on, he's a little bit casual first up, and Flemington will suit as well.
He's an NZ Derby winner. What's his best trip, do you think? Is he a miler these days, or are you trying to eventually get him out over a bit more ground?
Yeah, I think he'll get out over more ground for sure, so 10 furlongs and beyond. But another run under his belt, he'll be ready to step up, so maybe Australian Cup might be an ideal race for him.
The English Sprint, couple of nice horses there. Fundamental Nature, 2 from 2, but this is a step up.
Definitely a step up. Very good. I just like the way it quickened off the bridle the other day when asked. Strong through the line. Think it'd be a horse that will get over further in time, but when there's that sort of money on offer and you're in good form, it's hard not to have a look at it.
Signature Scent? Signature
Scent will definitely come on from her first up run. Very big mare and will be better for the run. So, she'll definitely come on as well.
Of your two, would you be leaning more towards Fundamental Nature there?
Fundamental Nature's, he's got the right momentum and stepping up. I would have said Signature Scent is the better horse now. Who will be the better horse in time? Maybe the other way around, but we'll see.
We've also got Bel Merci and Educator running on Saturday, Kieran.
Bel Merci is very good first up. Got back and hit the line strong. She should be only better for the run. Hadn't raced for quite a while. She's got plenty of ability there. So, it's a race where she could definitely figure and hopefully go on from there. And Educated. Yes, nice ability, keeps improving, and it's a nice step up for her as well.
Well, plenty to follow from the Kieran Ma team as usual this Saturday. And, well, next Saturday, Ed, it gets up again. We're another Group 1 with the Newmarket.
Yeah, 2 big weekends coming up at Flemington. Obviously, the Australian Guineas this weekend. Then it's the Newmarket Handicap and the All-Star Mile that we'll be chatting all about this time next week on From the Trainers Tower. Have a look at the price there for 10 Tyrus. $1.90 for the Newmarket. My Gladiola ran very well behind him in the Black Caviar Lightning, $6. Angel Capital, $6.50. Cabalas coming over at $8. And Benedetta performed better than market expectations first up. She's at 11 along with Tempted and Tropicus, the Oakley Plate winner.
Yeah, she's been a better this time in, I think. She has been. Now, 10 Tyrus is the favourite for that, and you would expect so for a horse that's being mentioned in the same sort of breath, in a way, of maybe one day in an Everest taking on Kaying Rising, and that's exactly what you spoke to trainer Sam Freedman about yesterday.
In the last 24 hours, did you see the win of Kaying Rising last night, and would you still be happy to take him on with 10 Tyrus?
He was outstanding, yeah. I mean, from a racing fan's perspective, he's just a marvel to watch. Look, we've got to keep improving to obviously, entertain the thought of taking him on. But I think it's good for racing. You do want to aim for the stars, and at the moment he would well and truly have our measure, I would say, on where they sit. But, we're hopeful that he's a 3-year-old, our horse. He's making good steps forward. If he continues on an upward trajectory and we were to meet in a race like the Everest towards the end of the year, that would be exciting, I think, for all fans. But Yeah, I'm not getting ahead of ourselves. We've got a fair way to go, but hopefully he keeps going in the right direction.
And is the Newmarket still the next goal?
Yeah, look, it is. Not much has changed in that regard. You know, he's fit and well. He'll be nominated for the Challenge Stakes in Sydney, and he'll be nominated for the Newmarket, and we'll it doesn't really change what his lead up will be, and we'll have a chat with Godolphin, probably once the nominations are out, and work out exactly where he goes. But Mark Zahra will be back on board, so he'll have a sit on him in the next 48 hours or so, and I'm sure he's excited to get back in the saddle.
Very, very exciting sprinter, and cannot wait for that Everest towards the back end of the year. But if he gets beaten in the Newmarket, one of the trainers that will be trying to get it done is Troy Corstens with Barrackeel.
Troy, no rest for the wicked. We see you down at the Tassie Yearling Sale today after a fantastic day yesterday at Caulfield.
Yeah, big day yesterday. Super. Not often happens that you can take 3 horses to the races on Blue Diamond Day and get 3 winners, so ecstatic.
It's hard enough to do it on any day, really, let alone a big Group 1 day like that.
Yeah, very much so. So competitive now, and we took 3 decent chances there. So you never expect to get 3 from 3, but yeah, it was a real feather in the cap.
While it's your dad Leon, yourself and Will's name on the ticket, it must be really rewarding for the team you've got together in the background now. Yeah,
I reckon we've got probably the best team that we've ever had. We've got a group of young guys coming through that are all they're just keen, and they that you get to work in the morning and there's a great feel in the stable. They love the place and just got the right attitudes, and you can see them all being very, very successful in horse racing in whatever they do.
And whether they're strapping on the day or not, they get to the races and really enjoy it as part of the team as well?
Yeah, spot on. I think that's part of it. They work so hard, and to see them get to the races and get around all the horses and be part of it, I think that's the best thing about it.
And while we've got you here, what's the latest with Barrackeel heading to the Newmarket?
Yeah, he's extremely well. He came through the Lightning very nicely. Going to give him a little jump out on Friday at Flemington. Just going to try something a little bit different. Going to put a set of visors on him, which we probably won't use until we get to the William Reid. But we are going to run in the Newmarket, but just trying something a little bit different.
And he seems to be coping with the straight as well as he ever has at the moment.
Yeah, I thought he was really good in the Lightning. He got to the front and just sort of stargazed that little bit the last 50. But the way he relaxed early, I thought was the best part of his race. And I think we're going to need to do that in the Newmarket. So we're going to try and ride him a little bit colder and let him try and hit the front as late as we possibly can.
Well, it's been a great story, Barrackeel. Unfortunately, the injury that held him back for so long has stopped him a little bit. But he's going to have one big problem, isn't he? And that's 10 Tyrus in the Newmarket, because he looks very hard to beat. That
is true, but you add into the Newmarket equation the element of weight, which you didn't get in the Lightning, given the conditions of the race. Handicaps, weight can stop a train, Sam, so it will be fascinating.
10 Tyrus.
Depends what weight he gets, which we'll learn about next week.
60s or Observer?
Observer.
Observer. Yeah, I'm Observer too. I don't think Planet Red can beat it, and I'm happy to take it over 60s. Anyway, that's it from the Trainers Tower. Thanks for joining us this week. Happy punting over the weekend. We'll see you next week.